It's about 7:30 on the day of the dinner party. I've cut off the root ends of the pearl onions and I'm going to blanch those now for 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and boil the arugula, and we'll boil that for about 10 minutes. All right, you can see I've peeled off all of the pearl onions and added them to the mushrooms. Now we're going to turn back to the arugula again. What I want to do now is squeeze out the excess water. And now I'm going to put it in the blender. Now we're going to take this and we're going to let it drain in this tammy, this fine sieve. And now I'm going to press this through, this puree through. This puree goes back into the blender. And I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of olive oil. There we have the arugula puree. All right, while I was offline, I went ahead and chopped up half a cup of parsley, as well as about 4 tablespoons of chives. And I've preheated the oven to 350, and we're going to put the walnuts in there for the salad. Google, give me a 12-minute timer. Our next task is to mince 2 small shallots. Now I'm going to take a red onion and slice off about 9, 10 slices, very thin slices. And we're going to separate these rings, and these will go into the salad. All right, the walnuts have cooled down now, and I'm going to coarse chop them. All right, now I'm going to mix in with the walnuts 3 tablespoons of roasted walnut oil and a little bit of salt. It's time to make the salad dressing. I'm going to take half a cup of fresh lemon juice, mix it in with 2 tablespoons of champagne vinegar, and a pinch or 2 of salt. The lemon juice and champagne vinegar have been sitting for about 10 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and add the olive oil and pepper. I've been grating the Pecorino Romano cheese for the salad, and now I'm going to grate a little bit more to serve with it. I've scrubbed about 3 3/4 pounds of real teeny potatoes, and we're going to be roasting those, and on top of those we're going to be putting some rosemary sprigs as well as smashed garlic. And we've got about 10 garlic cloves here. And I'm going to mix in with the rosemary and smashed garlic 5 ounces of duck fat. And we'll be pouring these over the potatoes later. And that's the end of our tasks for the morning, and now I'm going to take a break. It's time now to get started on the bread. And we're going to start with the pâté fermenté. And what we want to do is divide this up into 8 or 10 parts, and then let it warm up for about an hour. I did have a chance to change during the break and shave. Google, give me a 1-hour timer. You can see it's risen a little bit in the last hour. So we're going to mix the pâté fermenté in with whole wheat flour, just a little bit. If you need the specific measurements, take a look at the website. I'll post a link below. You need yeast, all-purpose flour, whole wheat flour, salt, and also 100-degree water. Assembling the salad now, and we're going to start with the squash. Alright, it's time to assemble the salad now, and what I'm going to do is put about 2/3 of the dressing here. We're going to put it on the bottom. I'm going to keep the lettuce separated from the dressing at this point. It's time now to turn to the bread. All right, we're now going to put the bread in the oven. We're starting to get a little bit busy here. Well, first I cut some thin slices of the baguettes for the croutons, brushed olive oil on both sides, and now I'm going to brown them. I've also gotten the meat out, and it is warming at room temperature now. Got the potatoes boiling. Some dinners are simple and casual. This was neither. Preparing 7 dishes in military dress blues necessitated not only special time-saving steps, but also special protective clothing. Although I may look vaguely Mandarin in this outfit, my cooking was continental, starting with fougere. These hors d'oeuvres were airy puffs of cheesy delicacy, with just a suggestion of pepper and nutmeg. Toasty gougere and frosted bottles of champagne made for an elegant start to this garden party. The final assembly of the salads was quick and easy, since I'd stacked the salad bowl earlier in the day and had only to toss and plate the individual servings right before dinner. This salad included a simple citrusy vinaigrette. A glass of Sauvignon Blanc brought out this plate's tartness and was handy for toasting when the champagne ran dry. I loved this dinner's main course. Beef bourguignon and potatoes roasted in duck fat are a match made in heaven. The beef was prepared the day before. To get the Dutch oven to the serving platform for dinner, I had only to warm it up, saute the pearl onions and mushrooms, and toss in some parsley and the reserved pancetta. The roasted potatoes took a bit more time, but they came out of the oven, golden nuggets of goodness. Cabernet accompanied these savory dishes to the table. Like all French Laundry recipes, the cheese and dessert courses had to delight the eyes as well as the palate. I neglected to put out a special wine pairing for the cheese course, but the guests seemed to fare fine with the selections already on the table, and that dessert course was ethereal. The delicate and airy shortcake halves, sandwiching an indulgent core of chopped strawberries and sorbet, were as pretty to the tongue as to the eyes. Before the powdered sugar had settled, all plates were scraped clean of the creme fraiche sauce. But let's not forget the bourbons. The whiskey hall was particularly bountiful on this evening. One might think 4 bottles would last a while, but a bottle and a half fell to the occupying forces before the evening was done. The evening was a splendid send-off for our retiring friend. Thank you for your service, Todd.